What up, y'all? It's Will here, also known as Will Keep It Real. Welcome back to another video, man. For today's video, we're talking about the topic of basically how to protect your peace and how to find that peace that you've been looking for. And I'm really excited for this video because I feel I've genuinely learned how to have peace at all points in my life, in all seasons and all circumstances. I've learned how to have peace based on how I see the world. First things first, when it comes to peace, is that a lot of people think it's something that's just gonna be there forever. Like, with peace, it doesn't mean you're not going to get frustrated. It doesn't mean you're not going to have emotions. It doesn't mean that, hey, when you lose a certain person out of your life, you're just not going to care. It's not like this ability to just be nonchalant with everything. I think it's the ability to accept whatever life gives you, because when it comes to a lot of people's peace, they don't have it because they're constantly giving energy to the things either out of their control or the things that have nothing to do with themselves. And so I want to go over like 3 to 4 main points on how you can develop peace. First things first, starting with stop trying to control everything out of your control. And so when it comes to your life, you have to gain an understanding what is and isn't in your control. And one of the main reasons I used to have my peace so distraught and just like so disturbed is because I was constantly trying to figure problems out for other people. I was constantly trying to get other people to like me, constantly trying to understand other people and what they were thinking, what they might be thinking of me, how I could change my actions in order for them to like me or in order for them to accept me, specifically in relationships, and just trying to figure out why they made a decision and internalizing it, saying something was wrong with me, and just trying to figure out an equation or a problem that was out of my control. Other people's perceptions, other people's feelings, other people's problems, essentially, and what they haven't healed within themselves, I was trying to take control over. And when I finally came to the terms that, hey, this isn't in my control. I can't get this person to like me. I can't get this person to heal themselves or fix themselves in their problems. I can't get this person to stop living in fear. I can't get this person to finally take life serious. And when I stopped doing that, I unlocked a whole nother side of peace, because I started understanding when you try and micromanage your entire life, when you try and get everybody to be like you, when you're trying to get everybody to do the thing that you want them to do, when you're trying to always get the outcome that you want for yourself that basically meets your needs or what your wants are, you're going to end up having so much stress and just like consistently having your peace disturbed, because things aren't always going to go your way. More than likely, you're going to lose more times than you win in life. More than likely, things are going to go not your way more than they do go your way in life. And that's just because a lot of these things are out of your control. And when you learn to just understand that, hey, all I can do is control who I am. All I can do is do my best. All I can do is continue to grow myself into the better version of myself. Then you start to not take things so serious. You start to just like kind of adapt to life and understand that, hey, I can't get everybody to like me. Hey, this person's not going to understand where I'm coming from because, they're in a complete different headspace. I can't get this person to stop reacting out of their emotions. I can't consistently be trying to prove my worth to people or get people to see my value and stuff. You see how when you're constantly giving energy to each and one of those things, it can be so complicated because you're trying to control all these different factors. You're trying to control your outcome. You're trying to control other people's feelings. You're trying to control other people's understanding of you. And then when you're doing that, they're doing things that, hey, don't align with the results you want to see. So they're still not understanding you, or you're still not getting the results you want, or they still don't like you. Like, some things it's just like not in your control, but when you try and control them, you just end up causing yourself so much stress and just unnecessary negativity in your life, basically. And believe me, I'm saying this because I literally went through it. Like, I lost myself as a person. I lost sight of my vision, my goals, and just who I was as a person because I lost somebody else out of my life. And I got caught up in trying to figure out why I lost them. I got caught up in trying to figure out what I did that caused them to leave my life. I got caught up in trying to get them to like me. I got caught up in trying to constantly prove my worth and explain to them why they should be in my life, why I was the person for them. And man, this messed me up mentally for months. It completely took away my peace and enjoyment of life because that's where all my energy was going, to trying to figure out a situation out of my control. And a lot of y'all are maybe trying to get other people to support you. You're trying to constantly prove your worth to your friends or to your parents. You're trying to constantly get people to support and show you love. And a lot of times when we try and do this and people just end up doing what they choose to do and it doesn't align with what we want, hey, it causes us this internal stress. It causes us this pain. It causes us to just like feel a type of way about the situation that just like it completely messes us up mentally, basically. So it's important that when certain things like come about in life, you truly ask yourself, like, is this something that's in my control? And am I trying to have too much control over this? Am I not just focusing on doing my best and living with whatever the outcome is? Like, sometimes you have to have an ability to adapt. Like, a lot of times we're going to face failure. We're going to lose in life. We're going to get all these negative different results. We're going to lose people because they just choose to not want to be friends with us. Like, there's going to be all these different outcomes and results we get where it's just like, what can you do about it? Like, sometimes you try your best. Sometimes you literally did nothing wrong and they just want nothing to do with you. But when those things happen, are you able to adapt essentially? Are you able to still flow with life and not be taken off course? Are you not able to lose yourself? Are you able to be okay with whatever result life presents you with? And when you can learn to do that, you'll learn to see, okay, I failed. That doesn't mean I can't continue to move forward, or it doesn't mean that it's a reflection of who I am and what I can or can't do in life. Hey, this person lost me. That doesn't mean I can't go out and find other people who will truly value me for me. It doesn't mean I need to go out and try and prove my worth to them. You start to understand that, hey, not everybody gonna like me. Not everybody gonna love me. Not everybody gonna support me. Not everybody's gonna see the vision that I see for myself. Not everybody's gonna see the gifts I see within myself. When you could just learn to become at peace with all those outcomes, hey, you might get upset, you might get a little emotional, you might get frustrated, but it doesn't stop you from being able to live your life. It doesn't stop you from being able to move forward in life. And that leads me into my second point of just knowing what is and isn't worth your reaction. So with a lot of us, we tend to give our energy away to the things that don't matter in life. We're giving everybody a response. We're constantly responding to things on social media. We're constantly caring about things that literally have nothing to do with ourselves. And I've realized this because I would respond to certain situations and I would just see people not living the life that I would live. So basically just not aligning with my values, my morals, and my way of living. And a lot of people always feel the need to try and change people. A lot of people always feel the need to respond to people if they feel offended or they come at them and they're wrong about them. So let's just say somebody came up to me and said I was lazy. I can make the choice in that moment to say, hey, I know who I am. So them telling me I'm lazy, as long as I know I'm not lazy, then there's no reason for me to respond to that. But then there's the other person who's going to get in an argument back and forth, constantly trying to prove to them, that person, that no, I'm not lazy. I do this, I do that, I do that. I live my life this way. Like, you don't know who I am. Like, you see how much stress how worked up you can get. You see how that just disturbs your peace. When you can learn to allow people to be wrong about you, understand that, hey, not everybody's going to live the same life as you. Hey, there's people who enjoy eating Long John Silvers. There's people who enjoy eating salad every day. There's people who enjoy being vegan and stuff. Like, when you learn to just see people be different and understand that, hey, it's not worth my energy, or it's literally no point to go out of my way to try and tell them they're living their life the wrong way or that they should be living their life this way. When you learn to just like let people do them and understand that they're on their own journey, they gotta go through their own experiences, they gotta basically think for themselves. Like, you also just gotta learn to accept people's differences. Just because somebody lives a different life from you doesn't mean that they're living life the wrong way. It may mean they're not the person for you, but it doesn't mean that they need to make a change within themselves. And one thing I started to understand was that sometimes people do certain actions in order to get a response out of you. Sometimes people are going to talk negatively to you. Sometimes people are going to try to purposely disrespect you. Sometimes people are just going to try and aggravate your nerves and get you upset and disturb your peace. And all they're looking for out of you is to see that they have that power over you. One thing I've learned is that I have a choice in certain moments. And when other people do certain things, I can't allow them to have the power over me to put me in a state where they have complete control over my emotions. Like, when I learn to just know what is and isn't worth my energy and actually responding to, my emotions were a lot more under control because I was able to think situations through and just ask myself, hey, what do I even get out of responding to this person? What do I even get out of getting mad or upset over this situation, especially if it's something out of my control? Let's say I'm stuck in traffic. I can either sit there and enjoy my time listening to music, or I could sit there complaining about how I'm going to be late to work. Regardless, I'm still going to be stuck in traffic. So when you just learn to understand, like, bro, it's not even worth reacting. It's not even worth getting mad over this. It's not even worth responding to this negative comment. Like, people can say, hey, I don't agree with this video. This video was boring. You need to be doing this in this video. You need to edit more. Like, people are always going to voice their opinions, and it's not always going to align with your own. But that doesn't mean you always have to try and prove why you're correct over them, or why you do what you do rather than what they do. Like, you just understand that, hey, these things are a waste of time and not worth my energy. And the great thing about this and just peace in general is that it's never going to get to a point where you don't stop discovering things. Like, there's always going to be something that triggers you in some way. There's always going to be something that you just discover, like, hey, that's disturbing my peace. Hey, that got me upset. Hey, I started reacting to this situation. I react out of my emotions and stuff. Like, it's gonna happen. It's not something I've completely mastered. Hey, I know a lot of things aren't worth my energy, but there's still certain things that people do that causes my peace to be disturbed or causes me to feel some type of way. Like, recently it's been like, oh, if somebody didn't respond to my text, or somebody ignored my call, or somebody didn't call me back. But the good thing about it is that when things trigger you, you get to ask yourself questions of why it triggers you. You then get to discover things within yourselves that you still need to heal, a perception that you have. Like, some people feel a big sense of entitlement, or people being responsible for their happiness. And so when people don't do the things that they want them to do, or people aren't living their lives how they want them to live them, it triggers them. But when you realize that trigger and you get to ask yourself questions, then you're like, oh, I got this sense of entitlement where I think everybody needs to accommodate to how I feel. I'm making this person responsible for my happiness when that really isn't their responsibility. And now you get to heal those parts of you and get to understand and grow in those areas of your life because, hey, you notice that it triggered you and made you feel some type of way. And my third point when it comes to protecting your peace is to live a life according to what you want to do for yourself, and stop trying to constantly meet other people's expectations. You know, there's a lot of people out here who claim they don't care, but deep down they really do. They may not express it, they may not voice it, they may not show it, but internally they're really struggling and basically deciding how they live their life based off external factors. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are still responding to other people's opinions of them when they say they don't care about other people's opinions. I'm sure there's other people accommodating the way they live their life in order to still be accepted by a certain group of people. I'm sure there's still people who are determining how they dress based off trying to impress a certain group of people. Like, there's still a lot of people who claim that they're living life for themselves, but in reality, in certain areas of their life, they're still taking everybody else into consideration with every action they do. It might be speaking up for themselves. It might be standing on their boundaries or their respect. It might be what they post on social media. It might be the way they wear their hair. Like, there's still areas in a lot of people's lives where they claim they don't care, but deep down they really do, and it's determining how they live their life. Like, a lot of people are in toxic relationships because they're constantly taking into consideration of how the other person might feel, or people are in toxic friendships where they know they need to leave, but they're afraid of upsetting the other person. They're afraid of leaving that person's life and having them talk bad about them. Again, trying to control things out of your control, and it's disturbing your peace because you're staying in these situations and you're constantly accommodating to how the world wants you to be, or how who you need to be in order to be accepted. And it's taking you away from your authenticity. It's taking you away from living your life how you want to live your life. It's taking you away from going after the things that you want to go after in your life, which makes you suffer because you know that you're essentially essentially suppressing a side of you and settling for something that you don't really want to do. Like, I truly discovered peace for myself when I started just living my life how I wanted to live it. I started telling people, no, I don't want to go out and hoop. I don't want to go out and do this specific activity. And I don't feel no type of way about it. I don't feel bad when people ask me to help them or do a favor for them. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I got to record YouTube. I got to edit videos. Like, being unapologetically myself and just understanding that, hey, I'm doing what's best for me. Like, sometimes, like, I can't always meet the expectations of others. I can't always be the person that other people want me to be. And when I learned to accept that and just understand that, hey, not everybody gonna like me, not everybody gonna love me, not everybody gonna support me, and I'm not going to try to get that from them. I'm not gonna try to get you to love me. I'm not gonna try to get you to support me. I'm not gonna try to get you to understand where I'm coming from and believe in my vision and believe in me in general. I'm not gonna try and get you to see what I'm doing and understand why I think it's what's best for me and get you to think that it's also what's best for me. Like, you see, my energy is just all over the place, and it's just constantly robbing me of my own peace because I'm not even able to focus on myself. Like, I'm constantly putting energy into external things that have nothing to do with me. Like, when you learn to just adapt to life and understand that, bro, these things are out of my control. And not everything is going to be the way I want it to be. Not everybody's going to agree with how I live my life. Not everybody's going to always be a positive person. People are going to voice their negative opinions to me. People are not going to like me for reasons that make no sense. Like, people are going to not understand me. And when you just learn to be like, okay, that's cool. Like, I can't give them my energy and constantly be trying to prove who I am to them or get them to understand me. Like, when you learn to just say, okay, I'm still going to live my life the way I want to live it, regardless of if other people agree with it, then you just unlock a whole new side of peace. Because I promise you, when you get to a point where it's like you dress how you want to dress, you wear what you want to wear. Like, somebody commented the other day on my video, you should consider not wearing earrings. I don't give a fluff what you think. Or they say, oh, I think you need to edit your videos more. I think you would be better off doing this for yourself, but because I don't believe in the vision that you have or the plan that you have for yourself. Like, when you learn to just like say, hey, I'm still gonna keep doing me, I'm still gonna believe in myself, I'm still gonna live my life the way I want to live my life. Like, people are just constantly voicing their opinions on what you do, and you in the end have the choice to decide, are you going to do what you want to do, or are you going to accommodate how you live your life to how they want you to live your life? But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post noties. I'm really curious to see y'all comments on this video and what y'all think. Be sure to join up on the Discord. That's going to be down in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.